Hey folks, it's Jim. I was having a little bit of spray through into this area of the bike I used the modified fenders because I can't use a full fender with all the sticks and debris that I hit out there. The full fenders were just tedious. So again, I went with my own sport fender setup, right? And it seems to be working really well. In fact, you can see the bike's hardly muddy at all, and you can see how much mud I hit, how deep I go, all the way over the tire sometimes. Excuse me. And it protects the bike really well. We only have a few splashes, which are from mud splashing actually up in the air from hitting the actual puddles and whatnot. But so the fenders have worked out very well with the SKS Mud X's also to give me further protection. But in between, there was this little gap right here. And this is a tedious spot to clean in and out around in this area. So I wanted to cover that up. I just used some rubber baseboard, right? You can get, you probably have some of this laying around at your house somewhere, right? Really cheap stuff. I had half a box of this left over, so I just went ahead and cut a piece that would fit in there, popped 2 holes through it. I used my my curved floor screwdriver for taking staples out of flooring, stubborn staples anyway, for getting them out when you're changing flooring. So this tool worked excellent to pop right through and make my tie wrap holes. And I just used a tie wrap, put it on there. The other thing I like is that you can move this however you want. You can cut the molding as wide as you want. So anyway, to fill that gap between here and the SKS Mud X, just a thought I wanted to share with everyone. And I just took it out for a ride, and it seemed to have worked great. It didn't move or anything, which is what I was hoping would happen, because it is braced down here on the frame, and this nut, it's held in behind this nut, and then it's also held right up under here under the fender. So I think that's going to give us great, keep this really secure, along with our tie wrap. And we have to have tie wraps for our maintenance kit for our electric bikes anyway. And the other thing I like about this, if I want, I can just cut this off and clean the bike really well once a quarter or whatever. But for the most part, because of the style of riding that I do with this bike, the Rad Rover, this is my off-road bike, so I do a lot of, and we'll get in some situations, and I need a lot of coverage, but at the same time, I can't have full fenders. They're just, everything gets jammed up in those full fenders, and it doesn't work. So I had to come up with something else. But anyway, if you thought about it, that simple rubber baseboard seems to have worked excellent for me. And, I think I'm going to possibly add it to one more spot on the bike as well, in the front, where I have a little bit of coverage that I would like to add to. But I think we could add this stuff anywhere, really, that we can get tie wraps on. And I'm really glad that that thought came to my mind. So if some of you who might want to fill that gap, there you go. There's a simple idea for you. Anyway, yeah, it worked really. It's working, I think, really well. And you can see how it's going to drip the water right down on the tire and flow through with the SK Mud X, which is going to be great, right? So it should just drip right down, hit the tire again, and they get splashed right on the SK Mud X and go right out the bottom, which will be really nice. I'm definitely looking forward to that, because you can see sometimes I get deep in the mud. So, not enough definitely to get the motor or the electronics wet, but, my rims do get covered sometimes. So I really, and that's another reason why I didn't want full fenders. I pick up sticks all the times on these trails, and man, I just can't. My road bikes all have full fenders, and they're awesome for road bikes. But man, when you're doing off-roading and picking up twigs, sticks, and all that other stuff getting tossed into your spokes, it's got to be able to clear. We damaged the spokes, so I had to go with off-road fenders of some kind. So, and this is what I came up with, and it's working great. You can see the bike's hardly got any mud on it, even without this, right? I haven't cleaned it. It's just a splash here or there, but still something I wanted to fix and fill, and it seems to have worked. So anyway, just another idea if you wanted to fill that gap for your full fenders. Simple little thing, and you probably have everything you need to do it laying right around at your house right now. Yeah, Jim out.